Hello, my name is Chris Bittner and this is the next preview of the game Balanus. Today I will show you a couple of changes focused around the war. There were some changes to available units in the game. Now humans have access to all of their units, same as bandits. The rest of the races got only one type for now, for testing purposes. As for the unit group types, previously transport was already existing. This is a light type of unit, which is responsible for transferring between structures owned by the same warden. Also caravan was existing already. It's a medium type of unit, which is responsible for transferring between structures owned by different wardens. In this release, I have added war supply. This is heavy type unit and it's responsible for transferring resources from a structure to a siege. New armies that are focused on fighting or security of the kingdoms are Garrison. This unit is not present on the map, but it's part of structure. It is represented by all the units that are stationed in Garrison. Patrol is a medium type of unit, and that's an army that protects the structure and their surroundings. Their only goal is to travel around the structure and defeat all the enemies that are approaching. Army. Army is a heavy type of unit and it's responsible for taking over of enemy structures. Armies are crucial for winning the campaign. There were changes to structures too. They can spawn patrols. For now, it's only possible to be done manually. Eventually, it will be a decision of a warden or a player. Structures can have garrison. The creation right now is manual, but same as patrols, they will be created by wardens. Structures can have fortifications. They are used to protect against sieges. For now, they are not being fixed, but eventually they will. Structures can be now transferred between kingdoms. From the big new mechanics that I have implemented, one of them are battles. I have abandoned the idea of real-time battles, where player would need to zoom into each of them and control it. First of all, it would take too much time to execute a single campaign if player would be forced to do it for each of them. Secondly, it would also require a lot of effort for me to implement it. And I was thinking that at this time of development it might not be a good idea. Instead, battles are now played out automatically and the game can have a big number of them across the map happening at the same time. Battles are always initiated by two unit groups, but other ones can join in and be deployed inside ongoing battle. Inside battle grid, each tile can contain a squad of maximum 10 units in it. So if the army contains, let's say, 25 archers, they will be split into 3 squads, 2 by 10 and 1 by 5. Battles are played out in turns. First, all the squads that arrive to the battle are deployed. Then the initial skirmish is played out. After that, the main loop of the battle starts. It loops until there is no units on the one of the sides, or one of the sides lost their will to fight. After the main loop is over, the booty is being collected from resources held by destroyed armies, and it is being split across surviving armies. The main loop consists of range, when range units will shoot at enemy, flanking, when units like cavalry will be able to quickly maneuver towards the enemy, melee, when all units will attack at close distance, reinforce, when units that are waiting to be deployed will be deployed, tactics, when army commanders can perform their tactics and tricks on the battlefield. Another new mechanic crucial for winning the war are sieges. A siege allows to transfer the structure from one kingdom to another. They are also performed in turns. Siege is divided into phases. Initial phase, built from encampment, when the siege is being set up, and reconnaissance, when the army can understand some of the structure under siege. After that phase, we have first siege loop, where the army will be collecting resources for building the siege machinery. During this time, the army will change to patrol mode. They will be patrolling around the siege location. When they will collect enough of the resources, the army will start constructing the machinery. This is a second loop that ends after all the resources are used up. Then the last loop occurs. It's called bombardment. It goes on until at least one of the walls will be destroyed. Army will then begin the assault, and the final battle with structured garrison is started. As this is normal battle, it can still be supplied by defending kingdom units that are just arrived to the siege location. If the attacker will win, the structure will be transferred to their kingdom. Investment phase of the siege can be supplied by wardens. That is done by sending war supplies containing spare resources from different structures. Even the armies partaking in the siege can supply the siege by using their spoils of war or by scouting surroundings for additional loot. Only some types of resources can be used for supplying the siege, like wood, iron or food. Different structures have different level of fortifications and different amount of them. If one doesn't have any, army will skip building siege machinery and jump directly to the battle with garrison. Adequately, if there is no garrison, army will simply overtake the place instead of starting the final battle. There were much more changes and the mechanics are much more complex to be described in a single video. Feel free, however, to ask the questions in the comments if you have any. I have spent some time away. A lot have changed in my game development environment. I now work with source of Unreal Engine directly, and I have moved to development to native Linux. I still use Visual Studio Code for some of the coding, but my main editor now is NeoVim. For next update, I am planning to have changes for high level of the game, visuals of the strategic map, conditions for winning the strategic map campaign, initial work on the world map, simulation of the strategic map campaign directly on the world map. That is all for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.